In the heart of New York City, where the skyline glitters like 1,000 dreams waiting to be realized, there lies a world that pulses with ambition and greed, a world that can elevate you to the heights of success or drag you down into the abyss of despair. It's a place where fortunes are made in the blink of an eye, and the stakes are higher than you can imagine. Welcome to Wall Street, the epicenter of financial power, where numbers dance on screens and the thrill of the market can make or break you in an instant. Let's talk about Nick Pearson, a name that once echoed through the halls of financial institutions, a man who seemed to possess the Midas touch. Nick was a genius, brilliant, charismatic, and driven by an insatiable hunger for success. He didn't just play the stock market, he dominated it. His strategies were revolutionary, his insights uncanny. He could predict trends before they even materialized, and with each successful trade, he built an empire that many could only dream of. But here's the kicker. Behind the glitz and glamour of his success lay a secret that would ultimately unravel everything he had worked for. You see, Nick wasn't just a trader. He was also a gambler. And in this game, the house doesn't always win. The thrill of the risk, the adrenaline rush of high-stakes betting. It was intoxicating. Nick was drawn to it like a moth to a flame, convinced that he could outsmart the system, that he could beat the odds and emerge victorious every time. It's easy to understand why he felt that way. The market can be alluring, a siren song that lures you in with promises of wealth beyond your wildest dreams. But what happens when the music stops? When the lights dim, and the reality of your choices comes crashing down around you? This isn't just a story about money. It's a cautionary tale about the dangers of ambition unchecked, of letting greed cloud your judgment. As Nick's fortunes soared, so did his arrogance. He began to believe he was invincible, that he could manipulate the market to his will. He surrounded himself with yes men, people who fed his ego and reinforced his belief that he was untouchable. But the truth is, the market is a fickle beast. It doesn't care about your plans, your dreams, or your ego. It operates on its own terms, and when it decides to shift, it can take everything you've built and reduce it to ashes. The moment of reckoning came when Nick made a decision that would change everything. He took a gamble, one that was far riskier than anything he had done before. He poured his resources into a venture that promised astronomical returns, convinced that he could ride the wave of success once more. But the market, in its merciless way, had other plans. What started as a promising investment quickly turned sour, and before he knew it, Nick was staring down the barrel of disaster. Imagine the weight of that realization, the crushing despair as the numbers on the screen turned red, the panic rising in your chest. It's a feeling that many can relate to, that moment when everything you thought you knew crumbles beneath you. Nick wasn't just losing money. He was losing his identity, his status, and the very foundation of his life. As the walls closed in, Nick's world spiraled out of control. He tried to salvage what he could, to claw his way back to the top, but the harder he fought, the deeper he sank. The calls from investors turned into accusations, friends became distant, and the very people who once revered him began to turn their backs. It's a harsh reality when those who once celebrated your success are now eager to watch your downfall. In the end, it wasn't just a financial collapse. It was a personal one. Nick lost everything: his wealth, his reputation, and ultimately, his sense of self. He became a cautionary tale, a reminder of the fine line between ambition and obsession. It's a story that resonates with anyone who has ever dared to dream big, to reach for something greater than themselves. But here's the thing. Nick's journey isn't just about loss. It's also about resilience. After hitting rock bottom, he had a choice to make. He could wallow in despair, allow his failures to define him, or he could rise from the ashes, learn from his mistakes, and rebuild. It's a choice we all face at some point in our lives. The truth is, failure doesn't have to be the end. It can be a powerful teacher, a catalyst for growth and change. Nick's story serves as a reminder that while the pursuit of success is noble, it's crucial to remain grounded, to understand the risks involved, and to recognize when the thrill of the gamble becomes a dangerous obsession. So, what can we learn from Nick Pearson? It's simple. Success isn't just about the money you make. It's about the integrity you uphold, the relationships you build, and the lessons you learn along the way. In a world where the stakes are high and the risks are real, it's essential to stay true to yourself, to remember that the real victory lies not in the numbers on a screen, but in the person you become in the process. As the sun sets over the skyline, casting long shadows across the streets below, let's take a moment to reflect on our own journeys. Are we chasing success at any cost? Are we willing to gamble everything for the thrill of the win? Or are we ready to embrace a path that values integrity, resilience, and the wisdom that comes from both triumph and failure? The choice is ours, and it's a choice that will define not just our careers, but our lives.